Welcome back, my luxurious fleet. Today is the second edition of the Luxurious News. I'll see you on the other side for all the latest news for the Lexus lineup. Let's do this. Okay, so the very first thing I want to go over is Lexus is considering building cars in China. So, as you guys know, they build cars in Japan, pretty obvious. They build them in, assemble them, I should say, in Ontario, Canada for the RX. And they assemble non-hybrids in the Toyota plant down in Kentucky. So, pretty interesting. This is on Reuters.com. They are thinking about moving to China. Now, I think they would have a great shot at building a little bit more market share in China. I mean, China is probably the hottest economy in the world right now. It's arguable, but I mean, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of money. So I think it's a good idea for them to consider it. But at the same time, it's like, well, how far away is Japan from China? Not that far. So I mean, I feel like kind of how they do in America or in America or Canada, they build the most popular models there, the RX and the ES. I think if let's say in Japan, in China, the most popular model is the ES, I think that would make sense to go ahead and do that. Moving on, next article. We have a special edition LX 570 for Australia. It's going to cost you, of course. I mean, the LX is already a very, very pricey vehicle. But this is really cool to see just a little bit of change in the LX. So it's called the LX S. It's got pretty much a body kit. Simple as that. Now, in America, it's rumored that we're going to get a blacked out edition where you might have the same grille here and this kind of body kit going on. And on the inside is going to be white. But I guess, Lexus in Australia is kind of leading the way with this special edition LX 570. You can find this article on carscoops.com. But, I mean, nothing really on the inside is different. But you're welcome to go ahead and check out the article. I'm pretty excited about it. This is pretty interesting, and it makes a whole lot of sense. So at this article in carbuzz.com, Lexus doesn't care if you like them or not in regards to their design. Okay, so, Lexus used to have bland and conservative cars, and some people absolutely love that. But there's a lot of people are just like, oh, Lexus is just an old people brand, which people still think that it's an old people brand, and it very much is in some ways. But Lexus is doing everything it can. Well, for example, the UX up here in the right corner, and then down here, the UX is an example of them trying to target people my age, mid to later 20s, all the way up to about 40, trying to hit, single people, couples, and not targeting towards families. Well, they don't even do a really good job at that, in my opinion. Lexus, they don't really target towards families that much. They mainly target towards old people, like the RX, for example. Even the third row is not really suitable for families, in my opinion. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back into it. They don't really care whether you like their design language or not, which I think is a very bold statement for them. And the reason is, my concern is that potential buyers don't know us. Brand awareness is key. That is so true. It is so true. So what they're trying to say, with design we leverage the power of Lexus self-charge, blah, 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 whatever. That's just talking about the UX. But what they're saying is, Lexus wants you to spot its cars instantly whenever you see one on the road. Whether you like the design or not, as long as you recognize the brand, that's half the battle. And I will add half the battle for brand awareness. And it's totally true. It's totally true. I think the UX, it looks amazing. I think they did an amazing job with the vehicle, and it's just going to get better for them. The spindle grill on the RX, in my opinion, is an abomination, but they still sell them by the handful, and I think their modern interpretations of the spindle grill is beautiful and very iconic. I don't think it looks ugly at all, and I think it's very, very unique to Lexus. But that's just kind of interesting that they came out with the spindle grill to set themselves apart. Many people didn't like it, and then they're saying, hey, that's okay because they still know it's a Lexus. Moving on, let's go to their Twitter page. So I went over the 2019 RC, I think, last week. It was only unveiled for Lexus at the Paris Motor Show, so I was a little disappointed. But so they're doing something interesting for this RC. So you see this white RC F Sport. It's obviously the 2019 with the new updated fascias. So when I first saw this, I didn't know what they're talking about. See it for what it is, watch what it'll become. I'm like, well, what are they going to do to it? They're going to put a twin turbo in it or something? And then I see this XCC, and then I go up to the next one, which means introducing the Lexus Cross Country Custom Tour. So this RC is going to make its way from Miami, well, let's just say here, Miami, Atlanta, Austin, Vegas, and Los Angeles. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. And along the way, it's going to stop at maybe different custom shops, and they're going to customize this RC along the way. Now, I don't know exactly what they're going to do to it, if they're going to make this car more moddable, because most Lexus cars, guys, let's be real, they're not very tuner friendly at all. Lexus really locks things down when it comes to that, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they're trying to make this car more tuner friendly, but that's not really Lexus's MO. They're all about luxury. Here's another great look, and you can see this little badge for the cross-country custom tour. So it says this minor refresh is about to undergo a major overhaul. It could just be visual. It could be wheels. I have no idea. I hope that they customize this car from the inside out, including the powertrain. So this one was interesting. Apparently there's a concept, inspiration concept is turning heads, and this was at the Orange County Auto Show. I don't know what's different about it. You can see the inside, the seats look a little bit different than the current one. Now, the shape isn't different than the current seats, but the design on it, the pattern is very much different. And you can see in the back of 2019 RC, there's that special edition UX and that very interesting blue. But anyways, back to the LC here. This yellow paint color looks amazing. And then these wheels I have not seen on an LC. They could be a part of the concept as well, but they look really good. And they kind of remind me of the F Sport wheels you see on the RX. Just these look a little bit skinnier, definitely more lightweight, and they look really good. They look like 21-inch wheels. All right, let's go back up. So then they're just playing a joke here. I think you have a good eye for Lexus. Okay, try to identify this, Jim. This is definitely a UX grill. You can tell by down here at the bottom, it has these dark chrome accents. This is an F Sport, obviously, and you can see the daytime running lights are incorporated into the headlight enclosure. Okay, moving on. This is exciting stuff. This is probably the best nugget of information of all the information I've gone over so far. Next gen Lexus IS to get much edgier design than current model. Now this is just a rendering, but it could be fairly accurate. Now I don't know if I like the design. Obviously it's not, to me it almost looks like an Acura TSX or whatever you call it from the back end. Looks like an Acura. I don't like the back end. The front end's okay. The front end lights, I don't think they're actually going to look like that, but this is exciting nonetheless. So these renderings were created by Japanese artists who had been given a look at the vehicle's design by Lexus. They are speculative renderings, but it's the only tidbit of design that we have that might actually be the new IS. Now, this article goes on to talk about how the sales volume for the IS has not been good. And I know that, everyone knows that. But what's worse is the GS. The GS just doesn't sell any cars. And I see it every month. For the last 5 months I've been working for Lexus. We sell brand new GS, I would say less than 5 a month. IS is probably double that, sometimes more. So yeah, sometimes less though. I mean, it doesn't, these cars don't sell well. So Lexus needs to do something about it. They need to kill off the GS, in my opinion. I know that makes some of you very, very unhappy, but it's kind of a product of Lexus's own design. They haven't given it attention. They haven't updated it enough. They haven't given it the power plants it needs to compete. So in my opinion, Lexus needs to make the IS bigger, get rid of the GS, and make this as sporty as possible. There's no room to have 2 sporty sedans anymore with the current market. So I'm just going to scroll down. You can see the rear taillights, I think, look pretty good. And this very large cut that you can see swooping down from the fender is true to the current IS, but it does look a little bit more aggressive. Again, I'm not a big fan of this rendering. I think this up here looks better, and that's the current IS. I think it looks a lot better. You can see the wheel arches are definitely more prominent. It looks a little bit angrier. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited to see what Lexus does next with their sports sedan. But that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next Lexurious news update, probably in 3 to 4 weeks. Have a good one. Hit that like button if you haven't, and of course subscribe as always if you're not. Peace.